I don't know who killed Paul and Maggie Murdaugh, but I'll tell you what we know about what happened on June 7th, 2021. My name is Mandy Matney, and this is the Murdaugh Murders Podcast.
I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot.
Okay, and sir, give me the address again.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now.
Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Are they in a vehicle?
No, ma'am. They're on the ground out at my kennels.
Okay, and did you see anyone? Okay, is he breathing at all?
No.
Sources have also told me that Paul Murdaugh was killed by 2 shotgun blasts, one to the chest and another through the arm and head. Maggie Murdaugh died of multiple gunshot wounds by a semi-automatic rifle, according to our sources. 2 weapons were used in the double homicide, which is highly unusual. A Good Morning America journalist who spoke directly to the Murdaugh family reported that Alec was taking his father to the hospital on the day of the killings. After that, he reportedly checked in on his mother, who sources say has dementia, before returning to the hunting lodge. Granted, sometimes in situations like this, people feel so hopeless to the point that they don't care if someone else takes their life.
All right, I'm going back down there. Are they close, ma'am?
Yeah, they've been en route with you ever since you've got on the phone with me. I have multiple people coming out there to you. Okay, can you do me a favor, Mr. Murdaugh, and turn on the flashers on your car so that way they can see where the kennels are?
Right here, the dispatcher asked Alex Murdaugh to turn on his flashers, but from what we've heard, he's not in his car yet. So we can assume here that at some point, Alec tells the dispatcher that he's in his car, and that part, for whatever reason, was redacted. Looking at the property, the dog kennels are about 4 football fields away from the main house.
Do you have your flashers on for me, Mr. Murdaugh?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to touch them at all, okay? I don't know if you've already touched them, but I don't want you to touch them just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
I'd already touched them trying to see if they were breathing.
Okay. Well, I just don't want you to move anything just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
Ma'am, I'm going to call. I need to call some of my family.
19 minutes after Alec called 911, Deputy Daniel Green was the first to arrive on scene at 10:26 p.m. Within less than a minute, he determined that the scene was secure, clearing the way for fire and rescue to enter. So they arrived on scene of a gruesome double homicide, and they were able to quickly determine that the scene was secure enough for other first responders to join them. At 10:28 p.m., just 20 minutes after the 911 call was placed, SLED was contacted by the Colleton County Sheriff's Office. Soon after the Colleton County Sheriff's Office arrived on scene at Moselle, SLED took over the case. SLED took over the case for 2 reasons. 1, the complexity of the case was beyond what the Colleton County Sheriff's Office resources could handle. And 2, the Colleton County Sheriff's Office had too many ties to the Murdaugh family and rightfully recused itself from the case. According to the autopsy report, Maggie and Paul Murdaugh died between 9 and 9:30 p.m. That's a short window of time, and we're not really sure how they came up with it. The next day, South Carolina media woke up to the biggest murder investigation in at least the last decade. A flurry of South Carolina insiders were texting each other news of the double homicide throughout the night. Soon after the story broke, law enforcement quickly went on the record to say that there was no danger to the public. But here we are 7 weeks later, and no arrests have been made in connection with the case, nor have any suspects been identified. Prior to the publication of the 911 call, nothing of substance has been released to the public regarding the direction or status of the ongoing investigation. Alex Murdaugh was identified by sources very early on in the investigation as a person of interest, although he reportedly provided police with a quote-unquote ironclad alibi for his whereabouts at the time of the killings. But we haven't heard directly from Alec what that ironclad alibi was. He hasn't talked to any media since the time of the killings. We also haven't heard much from the Murdaugh family since the time of the murders. During the Good Morning America interview, Paul's uncle John Marvin Murdaugh said that his nephew Paul had been receiving threats from strangers since the fatal boat crash. However, John Marvin Murdaugh told reporters he didn't think the threats were credible. I have to note here that all of the boat crash survivors and Mallory Beach's family members voluntarily submitted to questioning and volunteered to provide their DNA as a part of the double homicide investigation. No one is doubting that the Murdaughs are hurting right now, but many are doubting that they are just regular people. We also know that law enforcement impounded a 2021 Chevy Suburban registered to the Murdaugh law firm from the scene. We also know that on June 16th, SLED agents were collecting evidence in a swampy area approximately 2 miles south of Moselle, and we have no idea what they were doing there. Alec and Buster Murdaugh were facing a massive wrongful death lawsuit, which their insurance company was refusing to cover them for, in the death of Mallory Beach. A hearing in that lawsuit was scheduled for June 10th, 3 days after the murders. That hearing included a number of motions requiring Alec and Buster Murdaugh to fully respond to previous requests to disclose their financial documents, and asking the judge to have the case move from Hampton County to Beaufort County. That hearing could have also meant that Paul and Maggie Murdaugh would be added to the lawsuit. So all of this means that Alec must have been under immense pressure with the lawsuit looming, combined with the fact that his father was dying of cancer. Randolph Murdaugh III died at his home on June 10th, 2021, the day the hearing was supposed to take place. And we know that SLED has asked for patience, and that a judge recently ruled that SLED did not break the law in this case by being selective of the information they've released. We have to wait on law enforcement. We have to give them time, and it's still early to judge in this case. I have worked hard to report every fact that I'm speaking about in this case. This story is not a Southern cliche. It's far worse. And I want to tell it in my own words, straight to you, the listener.